She rolls her eyes at him, fires back with sarcasm, argues over every little thing, swears she can't stand him. And yet she never truly walks away. Her attention stays locked. Her reactions stay sharp. Her energy stays tethered to him, no matter how loudly she insists she hates everything about him. And while she tries to convince everyone, herself included, that he irritates her, something else is happening beneath the surface. She watches him when she thinks no one notices. She remembers things he says, even when she pretends she isn't listening. She reacts to him with an intensity she never shows to the men she actually likes. Because the man she claims to hate is often the man her body wants the most. Not consciously, not logically, but biologically, instinctively. Her words say one thing, her nervous system says another. And that contradiction is the crack where the truth lives. This video exposes the unconscious attraction trap. Why a woman's lust ignites strongest for the man she consciously rejects. Why resistance becomes desire. Why conflict becomes chemistry. And why the man she swears she hates is often the only one she can't stop imagining. Hate is not the opposite of attraction. Indifference is. Most men never learn that. They see a woman irritated, annoyed, confrontational, and they assume she's rejecting them. They think her sharp tone means disinterest, her eye roll means dismissal, her sarcasm means contempt. But psychologically, irritation is engagement, and engagement is the first spark of emotional arousal. A woman who truly feels nothing doesn't argue, doesn't react, doesn't get flustered. She simply disconnects. She gives short answers, cold energy, flat eyes. She disappears. But the woman whose emotions flare around a specific man, she's not repelled by him. She's activated by him. And the more activated she feels, the more her body betrays her intentions. Because irritation is not a dead emotion, it's a charged one. Charged emotions can flip direction instantly. That flip is the foundation of desire. What men interpret as "she hates me" is often her unconscious wrestling with her own attraction, an attraction she doesn't want, didn't expect, or doesn't feel safe admitting. Her hate is rarely hate. More often, it's resistance to the pull she feels toward him. Women don't resist men who mean nothing to them. They resist the ones who awaken something inside them they can't control, something that unsettles the part of their identity built on logic, safety, and predictability. The more she reacts, the more she feels. And the more she feels, the more she tries to fight it, because her conscious mind is trying to shut down something her body has already chosen. That's why the man she claims to hate occupies so much mental space. That's why her emotions intensify around him. That's why she remembers his words, analyzes his tone, and replays their conversations long after he's gone. It's not rejection. It's emotional arousal searching for a direction. And emotional arousal, when directed at a man she cannot easily categorize or control, becomes unpredictable. It shifts from irritation to fascination, from fascination to tension. And tension is just desire waiting for permission. Her biology doesn't care whether her ego approves of him. Her nervous system fires anyway. Her emotions heat anyway. Her reactions quicken anyway. And the discomfort she feels in his presence is not the discomfort of rejection. It's the discomfort of attraction she cannot rationalize. That's why she pushes back, argues harder, acts colder, rolls her eyes faster. It's not to distance herself from him, but to distance herself from the truth rising inside her. the truth that he affects her in a way she cannot hide. You think her anger means she doesn't want you, but anger is heat, and heat has only one source. From the time she was young, she was trained to desire the right kind of man, the safe one, the polite one, the predictable one who follows every rule and never disrupts her sense of control. Society tells her that stability is love, politeness is attraction, predictability is security, and she believes it on the surface. But underneath that socially engineered femininity lies a biological truth she cannot rewrite. Her body is drawn to something entirely different. She feels pulled toward the man who doesn't chase, the man who doesn't fold under her moods, the man who disrupts her emotional balance instead of soothing it. She's drawn to the man she can't control, the man who exposes her vulnerability simply by existing outside her expectations. This isn't rebellion, it's instinct. Her unconscious wants intensity, polarity, emotional stimulation. It wants the man who makes her feel something she can't manipulate. That's why the predictable man never ignites her. He aligns with her logic, but he does nothing to her nervous system. The man she hates, however, the man who challenges her, unsettles her, breaks her emotional rhythm, that man awakens the parts of her she was taught to suppress. And that awakening terrifies her. Her unconscious reacts first, surging toward him with an energy she doesn't understand. Her conscious mind tries to fight it, clinging desperately to the rules she was raised with. That inner conflict doesn't look like attraction. It looks like irritation, defensiveness, arguments, overreactions. It looks like hate. But hate is just the mask she uses to cover a deeper truth. He pulls her into emotional territory she was never prepared to navigate. And the harder she tries to deny it, the more powerful the pull becomes. A woman's attraction isn't sparked by comfort, it's sparked by disruption. Emotional spikes that jolt her out of the predictable rhythm she's used to. She is not wired to lock on to the man who keeps her calm, agreeable, unchallenged. Calm feels safe, but it doesn't feel alive. And desire is not born in safety. It's born in stimulation. Excitement becomes arousal. Tension becomes chemistry. Unpredictability becomes psychological electricity. These emotional disruptions flip internal switches she cannot consciously control. Her nervous system fires harder around the man who breaks her patterns, the man who interrupts the script she expects, the man who throws her emotional balance off-center without ever lifting a finger. That disruption wakes her up. It forces her into the present moment. It makes her hyper-aware of him, hyper-attuned to him, hyper-reactive to everything he does. She doesn't feel this with the polite, consistent man she's been told to want. He may be pleasant, but he creates no emotional spike. No spike means no imprint. No imprint means no desire. But the man she hates, the one who challenges her assumptions, the one who doesn't bend to her reactions, the one she can't quite predict, he becomes unforgettable. Her body recognizes him before her mind can make sense of it. That confusion becomes fascination. That fascination becomes tension. And tension is the foundation of sexual chemistry. This is why she keeps returning to the emotional friction he creates, even if she insists she dislikes it. The disruption is addictive. It breaks through her stale expectations of male behavior, and in that break, something primal awakens, something she's been taught to hide, but can never fully silence. That's why hatred feels so intense, because it's never just hate. It's emotional energy with nowhere safe to land. The man she swears she hates, is the man who wakes something up that no nice man ever could. The dark truth is this: women don't lust for compliance. They don't crave the man who folds, apologizes, submits, or softens himself to make her comfortable. Compliance may earn her approval, but it never earns her desire. What pulls her in, what agitates her, activates her, consumes her, is a man with dominant emotional presence. Not dominance in the childish sense of bravado, but dominance in the psychological sense. A man grounded in himself, unfazed by her reactions, and unmoved by her attempts to sway him. The man she hates is almost always the man she cannot control. He doesn't bend when she tests him. He doesn't flinch when she pushes. He doesn't dissolve under her irritation or moods. And because she can't influence him, she can't predict him. That unpredictability is what destabilizes her emotional equilibrium, the very disruption her biology interprets as polarity. And polarity is the engine of desire. When she realizes she can't move him, something primal awakens. A mixture of respect, curiosity, and attraction begins to tighten around her like a psychological net. Respect, because a man who doesn't collapse under pressure is rare. Curiosity, because he exposes a side of herself she can't access with weaker men. And sexual polarity, because nothing intensifies the dynamic between a man and a woman like the presence of a masculine center she cannot penetrate. She may call it arrogance. She may call it annoying. She may call it infuriating. But her irritation is not repulsion, it's friction. And friction is the beginning of heat. Around a man she can control, she feels safe, but numb. Around a man she can not control, she feels tension. And tension is the birthplace of lust. This is why her reactions escalate, why she becomes sharper, more emotional, more alive around him. He disrupts her emotional rules. He awakens instincts she has spent years suppressing, and her conscious mind interprets that awakening as frustration, even though her unconscious body knows exactly what it is. Her frustration is the body's confession. She wants what she cannot command. Her body always reveals the truth long before her mouth ever will. When she's arguing with him, insisting he irritates her, declaring she wants nothing to do with him, her pupils tell a different story. They dilate, opening wide, not from anger, but from heightened arousal. Her breathing shifts too. It's no longer steady or controlled. It deepens, slows, catches in her chest at the exact moments she wishes it wouldn't. These are not the reactions of a woman disconnected. These are the involuntary signals of a nervous system lit up by a man who gets underneath her skin. Even her voice betrays her. It softens after confrontation, dipping into a lower, more vulnerable tone. The kind of tone she never uses with men she truly dislikes. That softness isn't surrender, it's exposure. A leak of her real emotional state slipping through the cracks of her defenses. And then there's the proximity shift. She'll pretend she's leaving, pretend she's done, pretend she wants distance. Yet her body stays close. Her feet don't move. Her shoulders angle toward him. Her energy clings to the space between them like it refuses to let the moment die. The conscious mind says, walk away, but her biology roots her in place. Later, hours, sometimes days, she keeps replaying the interaction in her mind. Not the words, but the intensity, the spark, the emotional spike she felt in her chest, the electricity that raced through her pulse. She remembers how he looked at her, how he didn't flinch, how he didn't bend. And she hates that she remembers it, because remembering means it touched her. These aren't markers of hatred. They're markers of unconscious arousal, the primal kind that bypasses logic and buries itself directly into her emotional circuitry. A woman who truly hates a man goes cold, goes silent, goes absent. But the woman who reacts with fire, with tension, with lingering attention, her body has already chosen, even if her mind refuses to admit it. She hates him with her words. She wants him with her biology. There is always a breaking point, a moment when her resistance, her irritation, her denial can't hold the line anymore. It doesn't happen slowly. It happens like a snap inside her mind. 1 second, she's convincing herself she wants nothing to do with him, and the next, her conscious mind loses the fight entirely. Desire steps in, unapologetic and overwhelming. Her body has been signaling it for days, weeks, sometimes months. But this is the moment her mind finally catches up. And when that collapse happens, the signs are unmistakable. She starts asking questions about him, not casually, not innocently, but with a depth that betrays her curiosity. She wants to know what he thinks, how he acts, who he's with. She reacts emotionally to his attention, or the absence of it. When he looks her way, something flickers inside her. When he doesn't, something tightens in her chest. She talks about him more than anyone else, not realizing how obvious she's become. Her friends notice it before she does. The shift in her tone, the fire in her eyes, the way his name alone changes her entire energy. And then the clearest sign of all, she compares other men to him, not because he's perfect, but because the connection she feels with him can't be replicated or ignored. He becomes the standard, the reference point, the silent measure of what she truly wants but won't openly admit. This is the moment her inner world flips. The irritation she once used as armor becomes fascination. The tension becomes craving. The conflict becomes chemistry, so powerful she can't reason her way out of it anymore. She starts replaying every interaction in her head, not out of confusion, but out of desire. She wonders what it would feel like if she stopped fighting and finally let herself fall into the gravity she's been resisting. And here's the truth that every man needs to understand. When a woman can't stop reacting to a man, she's already his. There is a reason her hate feels so intense, so emotional, so alive, because it isn't hate at all. It's her last line of defense against something she feels growing inside her. The more she fights the attraction, the stronger it becomes. The more she tries to push him out of her mind, the deeper he sinks into it. This is the paradox most men never learn to see. Resistance is not rejection. Resistance is fear of surrender. And the woman who fears surrender is the woman already halfway consumed by desire. Hate is intensity. Intensity is energy. And energy is just arousal that hasn't found its direction yet. That's why women rarely hate men who mean nothing to them. True hate requires emotional investment, mental space, and physiological activation, all ingredients of attraction twisting in the wrong direction. When she's cold, detached, indifferent, she is gone. When she's irritated, reactive, emotionally charged, she is hooked far deeper than she wants to admit. Her anger gives her a sense of control. It lets her pretend she's choosing to push him away, when in reality, she's creating the friction her desire needs to grow. And the more she tries to shut down the magnetic pull he has on her, the more powerful that pull becomes. Because the emotional energy has nowhere to go. It can't disappear. It can only convert. It shifts from annoyance to tension, from tension to fascination, from fascination to lust. And by the time she realizes it, she's already past the point of no return. This is why her reactions become inconsistent. Cold one moment, fiery the next. Why she keeps him at arm's length, but never fully lets him go. Why she speaks his name with frustration, but thinks it with longing. She's not battling him, she's battling herself, and losing. If she truly didn't want him, she'd feel nothing. No anger, no tension, no flare of emotion when he enters the room. It's not the man she hates who should worry. It's the man she ignores. Now that you understand the truth, that hate is often her last defense against desire, that resistance is simply attraction wearing armor, that intensity is just arousal waiting for direction, you're standing at the edge of a new kind of awareness. Most men will never reach this point. They'll keep misreading irritation as rejection. They'll keep chasing women who feel nothing for them, while ignoring the emotional fire hidden in the woman who reacts to them with heat. They'll spend their lives confused, hurt, and blind to the unconscious signals that have been in front of them the entire time. But you don't have to be one of them. Because once you learn the unconscious code behind female desire, everything changes. How you read her, how you respond, how you move through every connection, every moment, every interaction. You stop being the man who guesses. You stop being the man who chases shadows. You stop being the man who mistakes noise for clarity. Instead, you become the man who sees the pattern beneath the chaos, the truth beneath the behavior, the desire beneath the hate. And that kind of man doesn't chase women. That kind of man draws them in, because he understands them at a level most men will never reach. If you want the next video revealing the exact signs a woman is deeply attracted, but hiding it behind anger, avoidance, coldness, or arguments, hit subscribe right now. Not later. Not when you remember. Now. Because every video on this channel sharpens your awareness, deepens your intuition, and expands your understanding of the psychological forces that shape attraction. Forces women feel long before they ever admit them. Forces that determine who she desires, who she resists, and who she can't stay away from, no matter how hard she tries. When you understand those forces, you stop reacting emotionally and start responding strategically. You stop taking her words at face value and start seeing the emotional current underneath. You stop confusing her defenses for disinterest and start recognizing the attraction she's trying to hide from herself. That is the advantage awareness gives you. That is the power men unlock when they finally step out of the illusions society fed them and into the reality of how women actually work. So if you're ready for the next step, if you want to understand the signs she's secretly drawn to you, the signs her body reveals when her mind still denies it, the signs she can't hide even when she tries, subscribe. If you learned something tonight, comment your experience. Tell me the moment you realized a woman's hate was actually a mask for something much deeper. And share this video with someone who still doesn't understand why the women they argue with are the women they can't stop thinking about. Some men spend their entire lives asleep. You're waking up. Welcome to a level of awareness most men will never reach.